Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We are back on the Xbox version of the sim. I did not mean to change the audio there, but here we are. So we're back on the Xbox version because honestly, I don't know what's happening. Everything goes really well, and then all of a sudden I just see, comments, I see forum posts about how the EFB isn't working on the Xbox version, there's other issues, and so we're gonna there's probably not gonna be too much, flying per se. We're gonna be doing some tests here and there, but I want to just kind of dive in and just see how the experience has been, because I haven't played too much of the Xbox version since we've last streamed it, but early on when we were doing everything with Sim Update 2 on the Xbox, performance has been miles above what it was doing. There were no crashes or anything like that. So we're gonna just dive into some of the things that I've been seeing. The first thing I want to kind of test through is the EFB. So what we'll do is we'll kind of do it through the main menu. We'll do it with different airplanes and so forth. Obviously we're gonna just dive into vanilla planes. I mean, I do have some third-party ones as well that we can test it out on and just kind of see what's going on, because I've seen so many things of people having issues with things that I've never had issues with, so we'll see what's going on. But hopefully we're just having a fantastic Monday, and yeah. Unfortunately, it's been almost 12 days since we've last had a beta build come out. I'm not sure what's going on with that. We did have a career maintenance period this morning, at least I think we did. They never posted about it today, regarding some changes to insurance and how maintenance works on aircraft. I guess we can show that too really quick. Let me go to the 737. One of the best changes that have happened regarding this is, before, if you ever did the update checkup or anything like that, the time that it was showing that you need to do it again never made any sense. Like, you would do it and then you do a flight, you come back and it's like, oh, it requires an update. It finally says everything now. It also gives you a bit more details as to what's going on. So if you have like a hard landing or something like that, it'll show stuff like what it shows with a technician. You are all good, continue to fly cautiously, you'll be safe for the next 25 flight hours. So instead of it being 25 hours, or what, I don't know what it was doing this whole time, but after today's maintenance, it'll actually show you how much flight time, not real life time, that you have left until you have to do a checkup. So that's a great change. Also, some insurance things have changed as well. So if you get, here, hang on, before I just say random things, if you didn't watch the video I posted last week talking about this, let me bring it up real quick again, because it'll be easier for me to read what they actually said instead of making things up and trying to explain what I'm saying. We don't need that. So let's see. So regarding insurance, if you're not in the beta build, you also had some changes after this morning's maintenance. So bought aircraft are now salvaged to the closest aerodrome instead of the starting aerodrome. Salvage cost now scales based on aircraft price instead of salvage distance. Salvage is now free below a certain distance, currently 5 kilometers, and aborted missions no longer generate passive income. Those changes are for those of you that are in the beta and in the live build, so just regular Sim Update 1. Now, if you are in the SU2 Sim Update 2 beta build, these changes have also occurred. Insurance and passive flight times are now correctly split. Used aircraft correctly display the maintenance cost breakdown. Used aircraft correctly display the correct time until the next checkup after purchase, which we can go look at that really quick as well. Aircraft repair. Insurance no longer reimburses damage of non-destructive crashes on checkup. A free checkup is now done automatically after a non-destructive crash. A new aircraft repair button replaces the delegated maintenance button. When the aircraft is grounded, this returns the aircraft back to its condition before the flight when the crash occurred. And then insurance now covers the entire aircraft instead of vital components. And selling the aircraft instead of using aircraft repair has been balanced so that there is no loss in value between the two options. So that's kind of, there we go. I'm glad I read that because I was going to skip over a few of those things. But yeah, that came out this morning during the server maintenance, which I guess did happen. I wasn't staying up until 2 in the morning to figure that out. But yeah, so anyways, there's that. I guess we can see if it really did anything by buying a used plane and seeing the correct maintenance that's needed, as we know, if you bought any used airplanes before, it would just be kind of guessing, or just giving you random stuff that really didn't need to be maintained, and giving you the wrong estimated costs, so apparently that's been changed as well. So anyways, let's dive into the testing that we want to do here, and of course, I'll just do this so people are like, oh, you're on the PC version, and blah, 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 blah. So there we go. We're on the Xbox. Fantastic. So let's mess with the EFB, because I'm so confused why people keep saying that the EFB just doesn't work. We'll see if that's true, and go from that. And Monorific, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Monday. But we'll also dive into the 737, skip to taxi and stuff like that. People are still saying that the gears can break from that. Some people have been telling me that the ES30 does not work on the Xbox version, which I just don't understand why there would be such a difference between the two. So we'll see. We shall absolutely see. Alright, so first we'll do the EFB inside the menu. And no, I don't have a mouse plugged in. I saw people are like, oh, you need to plug in a mouse for it to work. I don't have anything plugged in actually right now. The only thing I have is an Xbox controller. So everything's looking good so far. Not noticing anything weird or stopping me from utilizing the EFB. Checklist is working, everything inside of it's working. So, alright, there we go. So it seems to be A-OK inside of the main menu. Alright. So let's go ahead and just get into the sim here. We'll try it with different aircraft too, just to see if for whatever reason spawning in other aircraft are the reason why that happens, so we'll see. Your EFB is not responding at all? Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know why there's such a... Like, I don't know. I really don't understand why there's such a difference, especially on the Xbox side of things. I can understand PC, or if you have, like, a ton of third-party stuff installed, or you're running other programs, you can have some issues, especially if you go into a beta version of it. But if you're on Xbox, I don't see why there would be such a discrepancy on different things. Because that's why I'm so confused. I mean, I get so many comments saying like, oh, the EFB doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I just don't know. Unless they're talking, I mean, I'm assuming they're talking about the in-sim EFB and not like a third-party aircraft's EFB. But yeah, everything's still doing what it needs to do. There's nothing breaking. I can control every menu. Should be able to open charts normally. Yeah. Can zoom in, all that. Hey Jay, welcome, welcome. So, okay, I mean, we can try for like a bigger plane, see if it's something loading in issue-wise, or what the deal may be, I don't know. The VL3 doesn't work on my Xbox. Crap, how do I do this again? There we go. We'll just do a free flight really quick, too. We're going to just dive into different things. Again, the stream isn't really going to consist of any flying. It'll just be us diving into different planes, trying to see if anything goes wrong with specific aircraft or anything like that. We'll park over here. In career mode? Oh, we'll check it out in multiple things. It's all good. We'll check it there too. And had your first error-free flight yesterday. Very nice, Jay. That's awesome. Very nice. Because that's the other thing that's weird for me too. Because my experience with SU2 has been pretty much flawless. On PC, I mean, we've had this issue on the Xbox where it kind of goes crazy with third-party airports, but that's only when it's loading in. I mean, this is a custom airport, and I mean, the performance and frame rate on Xbox has been a crazy improvement. So when I see all these people saying, like, oh, you know, the EFB doesn't work, this doesn't work, this... I mean, it's just... I've seen so many things that I've never run into personally on either platform. So it's just... It's interesting. But again, we're kind of just going through the EFB. Which again, now we're in free flight. It's doing fine here. Can interact with it. And then, I forgot the button. Oh, I could just close the X here. Because this is a custom airport right here. This is my Palm Springs add-on that I got a couple weeks ago. And you saw how fast it loaded. And of course, it's a VL3, so it's not too crazy. But we'll test this out in career mode, since apparently it doesn't want to work correctly on Xbox. We'll see. And yeah, absolutely, Luca. We can try a 737 as well. We'll just kind of dive in through a bunch of stuff. Like, if there's something you're having issues with, I would love to test it out on my version. I mean, I don't know why it would matter. Again, it's an Xbox, so it shouldn't be very... Like, it's just odd to me that there's such a difference in experience, especially on a console. Let me see if I can find a VL3 here. Dang, there's no missions for it, huh? Interesting. Here, let me buy one really quick and get that on the map. But yeah, I'm still confused as to why there's just been radio silence regarding Sim Update 2's beta builds. I mean, we were having such a fantastic start with it. I mean, we were getting 2 builds a week, and then it was 1 build a week, and now it's been 2 weeks without a single build, which is just very odd. But then everything else on top of it with, you know, people coming into the comments and saying, oh, this is not working and stuff like that. Like, the EFB one's been very confusing to me. What am I trying to do? Flight seeing. Because you can use the VL3 for that, right? But yeah, so just radio silence regarding what's going on with the Sim Update 2 beta builds, and then people bringing up issues that I've absolutely not had issues with is just crazy. So Again, we'll dive into some other stuff here too. Just kind of want to see if there's any missions for this, because if not, then... Oh! I see some diamonds. Okay, there are missions. I don't know why I wasn't showing up with any. But we'll dive into the 737, see how it's doing, and all that kind of stuff. Another thing I want to test too is, I wonder if they fixed that issue where if you open the keyboard it would error out a mission, so we can test that while we're here as well. Because I haven't messed with it since, so that'll be another good test as well. But yeah, ever since SU2 came out, it's been the most enjoyable experience I've had with the sim since it launched on both platforms. So that's why I wanted to kind of do another kind of mess around, test things out type of stream, and see what's going on. Because there's just been stuff that I've seen people complaining about that I'm just like, how is this even happening? Was it just showing these missions because of the Beechcraft? That wouldn't make any sense. Oh. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now it should have picked the VL3 here. Again, we'll keep using the EFB in different situations, and again, still works perfectly fine. Had some missions with a vision jet, and half the time during landing the cockpit would go ape and couldn't see the screens and buttons. I would crash the plane, etc. Very frustrating. That's a lot of wind socks back there. Because the other thing I want to test out with the 737 too is skip to taxi. Because apparently the landing... I mean, the thing that's weird too is we still haven't gotten the PC-12 update. We still haven't gotten the A330 update or the Beluga update. Just some plain stuff that you would think has already been... That's why I'm confused why we're not getting more beta builds. They still need to improve this whole... Like, doing this with an Xbox controller is still needing some work.
Send my client.
I'm just going to go ahead and skip the taxi. Just get things rolling. Because I don't want to spend too much time on one thing. I just want to kind of hit through issues that you've been running into, and I'd love to test it out. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Did they reset all the price? I hope not. We'll have to look at that. Because they better have not done that, Brandon. Because we do not need to get back... I mean, it doesn't really matter in the beta since none of this carries over, but hopefully... Oh, crap. Are you not in the beta, Brandon? By the way, I'm going to be flying with a controller really quick, because I don't feel like plugging everything in right now.
I'm sure you'll have a great time with him. He's super nice and curious to know more about our aviation world. Seatbelt fastened? Then you're all set. Let's fly.
I should probably plug it in, because I don't know what the button is for brakes. Is it? Oh, it's X. Okay. I'll plug it in after this. I just want to get up in the air really quick and see what's going on.
Hi, Captain. I'm Peter. Thanks for the ride.
But so far, everything seems to be running fine with the VL3. Was there something specific that didn't work with it or something?
Yankee Romeo Echo Delta traffic. CTWN 32 Foxtrot Lima India Fife 61 tree. Taking off runway 25, departing straight out. Yankee Romeo Echo Delta traffic.
And
I
again,
would be more scared, but so far I'm okay.
mess with the EFB, still works properly. Nothing's weird with that. Oh, hang on, get out of the cursor here. With me, it's auto throttle. I don't know what that means. Is that like an assist or something to turn on for auto? Oh man, I don't know how people play with controllers. Controllers are just way too twitchy. I still think the character models are too big. I think that's why a lot of these issues occur, especially with what's going on here, with the leg inside the instrument panel and blocking. I'm assuming, is that the landing gear lever there? I just think the character models are too large. Like, they need to just shrink them and then it wouldn't be as much of an issue. Oh, we can't set the throttle to idle? And there's idle.
Your office view is pretty epic, Captain. I'm out of my comfort zone, but I'm enjoying it too.
So, there we go. Now we'll dive into the 737. I'm going to plug this in because I'm done flying with a controller. That sucks. That is way too twitchy. And again, I don't have a mouse plugged in because I was seeing people saying, oh, if you plug in a mouse, it'll make the EFB work. I don't want to have that happening because I want to just test it with just a controller. And so far, the EFB has been working as it should be so far. PC-12 freezes a lot when changing altitude. Oh, and then Brandon... Oh, shoot. Yeah, here, hang on. Before we do anything else, let's look at the pricing. And you're on just the regular build. Okay, well that's not very nice to see the price, because I was hoping it was just Sim Update 2. But yeah, let's see what's going on here. If prices did revert back after the maintenance today. I hope they didn't, because the prices before they increased them were terrible. So let's just see what's going on freelancer-wise here. No, search and rescue is still 217,000. Medevac still... No, the prices look as they should be. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything too crazy with... Yeah, the prices are still fine. At least on the beta. Let me check. I should have a helicopter cargo somewhere. Firefighting missions should be around 200,000. Oh no, they're up into 1 million. Okay. So yeah, the prices look like they didn't revert or anything like that. We're still good on that. At least in the beta. But hopefully for those of you in the live build, hopefully that didn't decrease, because that would definitely suck. But SU2 beta, the prices are still where they should be. Oh, it's... No, you're not wasting my time. I'm happy you guys are bringing stuff up, because I'd love to test it. That's the whole point of the stream, is just kind of going through stuff that you guys have experienced, and I'll try to get through it as fast as possible. That way we're not lingering on here for too long. So let's do a 737 mission. We're going to do some tests here. See what the load times are like. What is this, a 737? Well, yeah, it's airline, so perfect. Gonna cost $2 million to move this over. Fantastic. So we'll see what the load time is. Specifically, Helo cargo went from like 300K to 90,000. I'll have to look at that. We'll check that out. All right, load time seems fine here. Model's all ready to go. That was just the hangar though, or the initial thing, so we'll see if it changes going into the aircraft. And this is on an Xbox Series X, by the way, just in case you're wondering. And before anybody asks about an Xbox Series S, I don't have one of those, so... And yeah, Brandon, I'm not entirely sure. It would be weird if that mattered. Weird little graphical issue here at this airport. Well, yeah, we're all loaded in. Plane's loaded in. Great frame rate already. We can check out a busier airport too, a bigger one. Because I think we picked a smaller one. So what we're going to do here is we're going to skip to taxi. Because people are still saying that the 737's landing gear can break when you skip to taxi. Which, this one wouldn't surprise me too much if it does occur, just because we haven't seen any fixes for that still. So I don't know if we've actually skipped the taxi, or if it just kind of went through the normal cutscene. Oh shoot, I didn't switch this to the Xbox either. Alright, skip to takeoff. We'll try that. Hopefully I don't break the Xbox here, trying to tip that over. Alright, now I got the Thrustmaster connected here. Alright, everything's fine here. The other thing I've noticed too, I saw people complaining about if you move interior, exterior, change camera views, the frame rate's terrible or whatever. I mean, other than the normal little pops here and there, frame rate looks fine. Landing gear didn't break.
Charlie Tango Alpha 1 Tree 10 at runway Tree 2 ready for departure. IFR to NW Arkansas.
Takeoff runway tree 2.
Get moving here.
Cleared for takeoff runway Tree 2. CTWN 32 Charlie Tango Alpha 1 Tree 10.
Yeah, see, and that's what I mean. Oh, a little stutter there. That's fine. Gotta load in some stuff here and there. Oh, I did not mean to... okay, didn't mean to do that. Oh my goodness, the trim is horrendously set. I don't know, that's another thing they need to change too. I don't know why that trim is so poorly set. That was my bad. But hey, now we can see the new changes to the insurance. See, it all worked out. We'll do that again. I want to go to a busier airport anyways. So let's see what the new changes to insurance works like. Because now, well, we'll see. Manage aircraft. So now there's more details as to what's happening. It looks like some of your components are more worn than expected. You may have to maintain certain components prior to your next scheduled pickup. So we're going to just do everything. Just get it all looking good. And there we go. Just make everything new. You know what? No, we're good. So the other thing that's nice too is the checkup time is actually going to be counting down correctly. Because if you've been doing this stuff for a while, you already know before the maintenance that happened this morning, if you did an update and did everything, you do a flight, you come back, and it would be like, oh, you need to update, you need to do a checkup for no reason at all, no damage happened. So there's all that. The insurance also works differently now too. We talked about that earlier. So let's go to a busier airport and just see if anything's different regarding the frame rate or anything like that when we go there. So, well, at least we got to test that out. But yeah, that trim is always horrendously set on the 737. That's always something to keep in mind. And I always forget about it because I don't fly airliners too much, so... Oh, here's a helicopter cargo mission. Those definitely did change. Oh, or did they? No, because these are really short. This is just the oil rig stuff. Maybe that didn't? I don't know. It's hard to tell with that. I wish I had a regular, like, aerial construction mission, but... Alright, let's see. Is this New York? Yeah, perfect. Let's test it out at a major airport. See how that goes. Draco tail dragger gives landing gear broken issue when landing for SAR. Alright, we'll test that out. Again, let's let this load the flight plan, even though we're not going to do it. I should have not opened the EFB on the same thing. Alright, there we go. It's figured it out. So again, EFB hasn't had any issues this entire stream, no matter what we're doing or where we're at. Pretty nice flight though over to Salt Lake City, but we're not going to be doing that. We're just testing some things out. I want to keep testing the skip to taxi because people keep saying that the 737 landing gear breaks when you do that. So we'll keep testing it. How do you have so much money? This is SU2's beta. This is the beta build, separate career profile. You start with $1 trillion, I think they gave you. But yeah, so none of this carries over to the live build. This is all for beta purposes. That is where all the credits have come from. But if you're having these issues, the thing I would recommend is, one, reinstall the simulator. Don't worry, you're not going to lose your career progress or anything like that. That's saved in the cloud. I need to get some fuel up in here. I don't know why I'm worried about that anyways. We're not doing the flight, but whatever. We may as well just kind of go through these different menus, see how everything's going. Again, we'll mess with the EFB. That apparently is not usable. All the charts work. All the different tabs are working. Adjusting dials. Oh! Here, before we do anything else, we're going to get into the plane here. We'll let it load in, see what the load times are like. And then I want to open the virtual keyboard and see if that breaks the sim still. The other recommendation I have too is if you're having because the PC version has been 98% flawless for me. And if that's not your experience in Sim Update 2's beta, I highly recommend trying to be as vanilla as possible with the sim. Because obviously if you're using third-party programs and you're going into a beta program, you're going to get conflicts. So if you're having third-party stuff open that's injecting stuff into the sim, you're probably going to be running into some issues just because whatever that third-party software you're running it's probably not even working with the beta yet. They've probably made, there might be issues with that. So this is JFK Airport with a 737 on the Xbox Series X. Gonna be a little bit framey here as it loads everything in. But one thing I want to see is if they fixed the error code that pops up whenever you bring up the virtual keyboard. Nope, that still is an error. Man, that's crazy that that's still a thing. Because this has been a thing since SU2 came out. That's the major thing that I know is an issue on the Xbox version. Anytime that virtual keyboard comes up when you're in career mode, it will give you that error code 100% of the time. So that's definitely something that I'm surprised is still an issue. But again, I'm not understanding why the beta builds have just disappeared. Because, the PC... Oh, this is the other issue too, is if you open the virtual keyboard, you get the error code, and when you get back into the main menu, it glitches out the rest of the sim. I think we need to do a reboot. Because, yeah, see, we're stuck where... So, yeah, that's definitely one issue that I know everybody's going to be running into. So, don't open the virtual keyboard if you're in the beta, because it will fail, or it will error out your mission, so... Just keep that in mind. By the way, cool 50th anniversary dashboard. Love that thing. Anyways, let's get back into it. I just wanted to test that out really quick just to see if that's been changed, and unfortunately it has not been. So we'll go back to JFK with the 737. We'll do one more test to see if the skip to taxi, skip to takeoff is going to break the landing gear on the aircraft. And then I want to test out the Draco tail dragger to see if that landing gear issue pops up when landing. Because the other thing I want to test too, since the 737 is probably the biggest performance hog on the Xbox version of it, we'll do more of that camera stuff. Because I did see that as an issue too that people were having, where if they move internal, external camera, the frame rate would be pretty much 0. We tested it at a smaller airport. Didn't seem to be doing anything out of the ordinary. And yeah. And then of course, if there's any other issues that you've been running into, I'd love to test those out. That's kind of what this stream is about. It's just kind of diving into specific things or specific aircraft that you've been having issues with, and so forth. Another test that we've been doing, people have been saying the EFB doesn't work. I've never seen that happen personally. It hasn't happened in the stream either. So we're going to keep testing that throughout the stream, just to see if it's a specific plane or a specific airport or anything like that. We'll see if we can get like Heathrow Airport in London. Just test things out, because load time was great at JFK, so we may as well... But yeah, I mean, performance and load times have been much improved since the first beta build came out. Because this has been because the Xbox version of the sim was horrendous up until Sim Update 2's beta started. I mean, it was just... It wasn't very good at all. That's why I stayed away from it. It's just... The experience was horrendous. Where's Heathrow? Is this Heathrow? No, that's North Holt Air Base. Oh, it's probably this giant thing. There it is. Perfect, let's test it out here. See what the load times are like. We'll also check out the EFB again. We'll just kind of do a quick test on that. Do you have multiplayer and live traffic on? That's another thing too. I saw people weren't able to change the time or anything like that on their own. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's been so many things that I've seen people complaining about that I've never had an issue with. But in career mode, there is no settings for that. We can go into free flight as well. I just want to test out a few more things regarding the 737 in career mode here. Again, you can mess with the dials. Oh, Hang on, there we go. My cursor was freaking out a little bit there. Can interact with everything, zoom in on the map, scroll around the map, all that. Get the 737 over the Heathrow. And what I want to test here is, again, just skip to taxi, see if it breaks the landing gear at specific airports or what the case may be. And let me get a list here. I want to make sure I don't forget anybody's thing, so... Draco, broken landing, SAR mission, live time, weather not adjusting time is another thing that I ran in or saw people say that it doesn't work. I'm assuming they probably have it set to live. The only problem with the EFB I have is when I'm trying to type an origin or airport, you'll get it. Is that on the PC version, Michael? Because, I mean, here, I'll test that out in free flight. I can't test it in career mode because we get that error code that we were seeing. So here, let's load into Heathrow here. But yeah, the only problem with the EFB is when I try to type an origin destination airport. Alright, I'll add that to my list. Inputting EFB destination, not actually inputting. I'll put that in free flight. We'll test that out. Because that's the main reason I wanted to do the stream, is I just want to see what kind of issues people are having and just seeing if I can replicate those things. And so far, the only issue we've run into is, of course, the 737's ridiculous trim that you always have to set yourself because it sets it to like a 10-degree pit. Like, it's just weird. And then, of course, the virtual keyboard always 100% of the time giving you the error code going on. Of course, we're going to get some stutters here. I'm not surprised by the stuff loading in. I mean, it's a big airport. It's got a lot of stuff to load. So we'll give it a few more seconds here just to kind of relax, get everything that it needs to loaded on in, because we're still getting stuff around the aircraft as well. This type of behavior, not too surprising. It's a big airplane. It's pretty much the biggest performance hog next to probably the CJ4. Because the CJ4 performs terribly on PC as well. That plane just needs some optimization. But if you get to like a bigger airport, a big plane, especially on the Xbox, you're going to run into some stutters here and there. This one's taking a bit longer than normal, but we're getting there. This type of situation I'm not surprised by. I'll give it a few more seconds here. Now we're getting the AI traffic loaded in. Which again, yes, is back. Career traffic is toggleable. But yeah, again, we're still loading stuff in the distance, which obviously there's a lot to load in at Heathrow Airport. Clouds are looking pretty nice too on the Xbox version, which is nice to see. Are we good? No, we're still stuttering. The other thing that you have to keep in mind too is I don't think all the airports were done by the same dev. I mean, it could have been. I think it was Working Title that did it. So, I mean, you're probably going to have other issues with performance and optimization that the developers who made the handcrafted airports need to work on. Because London Heathrow is a bit of a messy airport for sure. But anyways, we're gonna just kind of get things rolling here.
Good afternoon, everyone.
See how long it takes for the cockpit to load in.
Love this city.
Oh, my bad, sorry. Hopefully that wasn't beeping the whole time. That was my bad. But yeah, frame rate's pretty terrible at Heathrow, for sure. Later on, I want to test out another handcrafted airport, because Heathrow's definitely crap. No doubt about it. So let's skip the taxi. I mean, the main test I wanted to do here was just seeing how the aircraft is if we run into that issue where the landing gear breaks when you skip. We've done it once. We didn't have any issues with it. This stutter doesn't stop them. So that happens anywhere for you, Luca? Like any airport, even a smaller one that isn't handcrafted or anything like that? Because, yeah, I mean, if that's your experience everywhere, then that's crazy. I would really recommend reinstalling the sim just to see if that'll help you out. Because I'm interested if you go to an airport that's really not optimized very well, if that's where it runs into this landing gear issue, we'll see. Because, yeah, Heathrow is horrendous. Because you saw how we loaded into New York. It stuttered a little bit when we initially loaded in, and then it was fine after that, so... I think there's just some optimization issues that whoever worked on this airport needs to kind of return to it. Because the skip to taxi has taken a while as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if we pop into other airplanes and go to Heathrow, that it would be pretty poor performance as well. Because that definitely needs some work. I'll give this a few more seconds. If it doesn't load in, we'll just restart the sim and get into some other testing, and then I want to kind of dive back into the 737 a little bit later, because we've already spent quite a bit of time with this. But, this is probably the longest loading time I've seen in a while. Interesting. Yeah, okay, I don't know what's going on, but Heathrow sucks. I do know that. Never gonna go there for a while until I get that resolved. Because, yeah, something's definitely not optimized correctly there. It almost seemed like there was a leak. Because, I mean, even after everything was loaded in... Ooh, what was that green thing? What happened there? Don't be blowing up my Xbox now. I know I said I was done with it. I want to test it right now because that was horrendous. So I want to go to another handcrafted airport that's busy. We'll probably do LAX and see what's going on with that, because that was probably the worst I've ever seen the sim perform since it released. I mean, that was horrendous. Whoever worked on the handcrafted airport of Heathrow needs to go back to that, because something isn't right. Because as I said, I can understand having, some frame drops here and there when it initially loads in, but that was just constant. Like, that wasn't doing... I don't think that was ever going to stop freaking out with whatever was going on there. So let's go to LAX really quick. And then the PC-12 Envision jet only on landing. Interesting. We'll have to mess with that as well. There's LAX. Of course, still loading in, so again, understandable to have some stutters here and there. take number 2 on this. Let's see if we run into the same issue that we did with Heathrow. Because that was crazy. Get the flight plan to do its thing. And while it does that, again, EFB still works as intended. Hey FMJ! Career mode did receive, I think it got a main. Now, they never said anything that it was down today, but I'm assuming it popped up because there were changes to the insurance and so forth. Nothing else. It was just based off repair and insurance, so. Again, just doing some tests. Again, EFB working normally. Haven't had any issues not interacting with it. Charts are showing up and loading in. Nice high quality, can move it around. And then we'll just see how it performs here, because I guarantee it's going to be way better than what Heathrow was, which indicates that something with how they developed that airport is the issue. Because we loaded into JFK fine. Sure, that isn't a handcrafted airport, but I mean, there's still a lot of photogrammetry that the sim has to load in and all that kind of stuff, so. But we'll see. And as usual, again, there's going to be some stutters here and there when it initially loads in, but that should kind of phase out once it does draw what it needs to draw in. Love that livery on the 757 there. But yeah, there we go. I mean, okay, still some stutters here and there. But it's still loading stuff in. You can see it in the control tower up there. Let's see how the cockpit's already loaded in as well.
Let's make this flight to Tucson a great experience.
We're going to skip to taxi again just to see if it'll crash our gear or what may happen. So yep, definitely something wrong with the airport of Heathrow for sure. No doubt. Gonna give it a few more seconds here just to kind of load things in fully. Landing gear didn't break. We'll skip again. Landing gear still fine. Oh my, can that go any slower? Goodness gracious. I just want to see what it performs like. Oh, I keep thinking I have the keyboard in here. Don't care about the performance or talking to ATC, just want to kind of get things situated. I mean, I'm not expecting beautiful 60 frames per second at a busy airport while in a 737 on the Series X. Oh, hang on, come on. Reset my camera, please. Now the trim isn't completely messed up. Frame drop, frame drop.
Going to 125.2, Delta 515.
I just want to see. Okay, there's a huge drop right there. Whew. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still room to improve with bigger airports and the airliners, but again, I'm not entirely shocked by it. I just want to see when it starts to improve once it draws out the airport, or if it just keeps going this way. There's definitely been some regression though. Because if you go back to... Oh wait, hang on. It's starting to get rid of the airport. No, but still, yeah, see, something changed, because if you go back to a stream that I did about a week or two ago, the performance was really great, even with the 737. Not sure if weather has an effect with it too, but
March Airport Information, Quebec, 1500 Zulu. Wind 165 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 16.
Excessive flap speed.
I think we're finally starting to,
Excessive flap speed count.
Oh, I don't care about all that. Leave me alone. Interesting. I'll have to do some more tests with that, but we've hung on the 737 a bit too much here. Again, no landing gear issues though with skipping to taxi and stuff like that. I'd say I have more experience with it, but I don't really skip too much except for today's stream because I just was wanting to see if that would break. So I want to dive into free flight really quick because I want to test out more stuff with the EFB. Specifically the keyboard stuff not entering data correctly. And I want to just dive into LAX again with something smaller just to see if the same issue occurs or if it's just all across the board now, which would be really disappointing, but we'll see. Because I think the other major thing too is the fact that the 737, the default one, still does need some optimization, because it seems like it's regressed a bit, because it wasn't that choppy before. We'll see. You can't do live players in career mode, you can just have live AI, but that was on, yes. CJ3 soon to be released. Are you on the beta right now? But yeah, I don't really care about, is that the CJ3 Plus or whatever? Yeah, I'm not really too worried about it. I'd rather have the CJ that we already have optimized and I'll just use that. And there we go, nice and smooth. It's just, the 737 isn't optimized right. I think that's the major issue. there needs to be some improvement to it, for sure. No, I mean, there's still major... Oh, and a crash. Really? How did things go worse when there hasn't been a new build? Like, I don't know. What is happening? I don't get it. I really don't understand that. Because when we streamed the whole Xbox thing a couple of weeks ago and I did that video over it, you saw the frame rate with different aircraft and going into these busier places, and now we seem to be back to what it was before the Sim Update 2 beta, but there's been no... Like, I don't understand how things can regress without new builds. I don't get that. Because that's the first time I've had the Series X version crash on me since, like, the very first SU2 build. That's what makes following this development so confusing, because one day everything's fine, and then a couple weeks later, without any new beta builds, things act weird again. Like, I don't get that. Why? I just don't get it. Oh, JFK is a handcrafted airport? I didn't remember. I thought it was a... I thought it was just a random generator one. Well, okay. Let me try this again. I'm just confused. I don't know anymore. And the thing that's so, like, the thing that frustrates me, too, is the lack of communication. Is just like, what is going on? Like, what are you mainly focused on? Like, what are the main issues that we're running into? Because this was supposed to release, the window was late April. We're now almost middle of May. The development updates every Thursday haven't shown any, like, they didn't even talk about SU2 last Thursday. Like, there was not a single mention about anything regarding that. And I don't know. I just don't even know what, like, that's why I try not to do videos over this every day, because I just don't know what to talk about, because it's just, I'm so confused. You know, I'm just so confused as to what's going on. Okay, so now we're in free flight. You can see a live player over there. You can see his name behind the hangar. JFK is much better optimized. No major... Because I thought the same developer worked on every airport, which is why it's weird to have such a difference of performance based off different airports. It really doesn't make any sense to me, because you feel like it would be the same optimization since it's not a different developer each time. At least I thought it was Working Title that worked on the handcrafted airports. I could be wrong on that. It would make more sense as to why there would be such a difference between airports if it was multiple developers working on them. Because JFK seems to be fine. But anyways, we're here to test something out that I was wanting to test before, and that is entering stuff into the flight planner that didn't actually show up, so we're going to test it. Cursor mode. There it is. Why does that move the thing? Okay, so there's that. That entered that. Don't really care about a departure. There we go. Perfect. a nice 50-hour flight with the CTSL. Oh, you can just hit A. You don't need the cursor. Okay, that's why I'm making that more difficult than it needs to be. But okay, so entering stuff with the keyboard does as intended. But yeah, so obviously something very fishy with the optimization of those airports. Because whoever did JFK did a fantastic job. I mean, all the stuff loaded in really quick. The planes are here. We're not getting any completely frozen frames or anything like that. So, okay. We're going to do another test here. We're going to go back into career. I want to dive into the Draco and just see if that landing gear issue pops in. We're going to skip through everything again because I'm not going to do a full flight, as you know. The scroll bar on the EFB is a joke. You mean that very little thin piece of blue? I don't know why it's so thin. I agree with that. I don't know why it's such a tiny little... I don't know why you're not able to just... If the cursor's over the EFB, you should be able to just use the right thumbstick up and down to automatically scroll, instead of having to move the cursor over to the that very minuscule little scroll bar. So here, let's do this really quick. Into the Draco! It's crazy, the game works on the S, it struggles sometimes on my X. Yeah, I'm not really... I don't know. Well, I mean, the 737 was great for me too before, but now all of a sudden, like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna bother trying to answer what's happening, because I don't even know. I really don't understand what's going on with the Xbox version. I don't know why there's such a difference in experience for everybody on a console. Because you feel like everybody would have pretty much a similar experience. But that's not the case. Like, I don't know. Some people don't have the EFB working. Some people have everything fine. Like, I am so confused as to what's happening. And I don't have an answer. Well, the way to fix... I mean, the whole ATC communication window is ridiculous anyways. But on PC, you can't resize the window. But on Xbox, you can, which does end up fixing the box issue. But I don't know. That's the thing for me is I think going for these big giant updates is not the way to go. I think they need to just go to the hotfix area where they focus on the major issues that people are having and then just sending out a hotfix. I'd rather have an update every day as opposed to waiting and like it's been radio silence as to what's going on with Sim Update 2 for 2 weeks now. There hasn't been like any update as to what's happening, what's going on with it, when we can expect another beta build. I mean, I can check here to see if anything's popped up, but I don't think anything has. And I think that's where the biggest issue comes from is, I mean, there's some times where everything feels great. You know, 2 beta builds every week. This is awesome. Like, things are changing, things are improving, and so forth. And again, I did a video and stream over the Series X version where I'm like, oh, hey, this is running the best it's ever done. I was loving playing on the Xbox, and now it's just been a bit weird. I don't know if the memory, like, logging is going on in the background again. And the reason we don't know why that's going on is because, again, the communication has just been, like, it's hard to tell what's going on. Even if you're in the beta, there's just no communication as to, like, it'd be cool to see the developers come out and say, hey, can you guys focus on working with this aircraft at this airport and give us feedback on it? Like, it'd be kind of cool to have this back and forth going on, but there's none of that happening. And it's just, I don't know. I really don't know. And the other thing that boggles my mind is we've had such... I want to bring the 737 back to JFK because... Okay, so there's an error with that. So if you just skip to taxi while you're in walk around, it airs out your mission. Interesting. See, and then this is the other thing too, is I love that there was a career maintenance, but if I'm gonna be honest, I would have rather seen some stuff regarding the missions and how they're working as opposed to insurance and all that kind of crap right now. Because, I mean, there's so many of those types of situations where it's like, okay, I didn't do anything and the mission failed. And then you lose reputation. It's just... I mean, again, I don't really run into those issues because I don't skip too much. But that's besides the point. If the feature is there, the feature shouldn't be breaking things in the missions. So, it's good that we are testing this out, because if people do want to skip it or they're wanting to kind of shorten the missions, they shouldn't be running into issues like that. So it's just... I don't know. Just... I really don't know. And it seems to be that the filters are also breaking. Because now I don't all of a sudden have any missions for the Draco. Even an employee, they were disappearing for whatever reason. Hang on, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to the company page here just to buy one really quick. Binky with 5 gifted memberships again. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Monday, Binky. Thank you again. I think this is bringing up to 45 gifted memberships now. Thank you so much for the continued support while I have just chaos going on. Oh, we do have... No. Wait, what am I thinking of? Yeah, we don't have one here. Let me buy it really quick. But still, we should be seeing employee missions too, which we did in the beginning. And now all of a sudden they're gone. But, there it is. Yeah, give me this. Thanks. Perfect. Blah, 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 blah. Well, the menu music is always something that's been kind of... Yeah, see, now we don't have... Oh, there they are. Okay. They just weren't loading in. Fantastic. Alright, let's try that again. Hi, the only variable that is different for everyone is internet speed. I have gigabit speed, so that shouldn't be affecting me. Regarding anything that's going on here. But I mean, I understand that for, you know, like loading in or load distances and stuff like that. But yeah, it has nothing to do with internet on my end. But alright, let's try this again here. The weekly membership lottery, no doubt about it. Again, thank you, Binky. Very much appreciate it. Turned that menu music on a long time ago. Very nice. Last week I was at pre-flight with my 737 MAX and it auto-skipped a taxi but put me in a building and cost me about $14 million to repair it. Yeah, we were doing the skipping with the 737. Didn't run into any issues with it from the few locations we were messing with it. But skipping to taxi with this did mess with the Draco, which was weird. And real scale in the window doesn't help either? Interesting. But anyway, I don't think I finished what I was... The ATC window just sucks. I didn't like it in 2020. I said this before. I don't like it in 24. I was really hoping for some improvements on there, and it just... That's why most of the time I don't really mess with ATC. It's kind of like, okay. Sometimes I focus on it, other times I just don't want to deal with it. Well, I mean, typically I use a mouse too, but I don't want to have a mouse. I want to just have the experience. So if somebody's wanting to play Flight Sim on the Xbox, they're probably only going to have an Xbox controller. I mean, I'm sure, there's a lot of people that love mouse and keyboard now on Xbox too, but I want to just test it with an Xbox controller, and that's it. Except for flying, I have the Thrustmaster plugged in, but that's besides the point. Okay, so we're going to test this again just to see if it does it again. Let's see. I mean, overall it's going okay. It's just... It's weird to me how these issues just kind of... Like, I don't know, it's just... I don't understand why the experience is so random. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. So I'm going to keep skipping, because I'm not going to do this whole flight. We're going to just test things out. Even though I can't skip anyways, even if I wanted to. Oh, there we go.
Niner traffic, CTWN 32 Sierra Romeo Echo 201 tree, taking off runway 8 left, east departure, November Mike 09er traffic.
So it seemed like if we were in the walk-around mode and then we skipped a taxi, that's when the issue would occur. Because when we were in the cockpit, everything was fine, so...
Search and rescue Scout 2-3, every second counts. The sooner you get on site, the better.
Oh, it picked the Cub, didn't it? Oh, god dang it. I wasn't even paying attention. I just... No wonder it wasn't an issue, because I wasn't even... I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy looking at the stupid... Or just talking. I wasn't even paying attention to it. My bad. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Hey, Adam. I don't even know why I picked that. Is that really where that plane was? I thought I put the Draco here. Or was I not paying attention to that? Why do... Why, oh my goodness gracious. Why the missions are there and then they're not there. Please. What is the plane here? I love how I can never just see that. But okay. Hang on. No wonder we didn't have an issue with the skip to taxi either, because it was not the right plane. Get over here. Goodness gracious. Unbelievable. And this is what happens when you're not paying attention to what's going on. Alright, now we're in the right plane. Now we're going to redo the skip to taxi. It's like, oh, it's working now. Oh, it's a different plane. Does the Xbox menu feel the same on PC? What, laggy? No. Nope. Not at all. Oh, there it is. There it is. Alright, again, we're gonna just skip to taxi, do a little test here, see if that happens again.
Thanks for speeding things up. As you know, we have a situation.
I don't know why it was full power either. I had my throttle back.
A man has gone missing with a car near Hatch Empty Lands. It's a deserted area where the ground search operations are extremely challenging, and we haven't heard from her yet, which is very concerning. We need you to locate her fast. We'll do our best to get you more intel, or help you finding the site while you're out there. I'll radio you regularly to check you're okay. I'll be online the whole time to coordinate with other authorities.
Echo 05 traffic, CTWN 32 Sierra Romeo.
These cars are always just in the way.
CTWN 32 Sierra Romeo Echo 4614, taking off runway 11, west departure, Echo 05 traffic.
Nope, he's gonna drag race us down the runway apparently.
Search and Rescue Care 12. We don't have much time. Hope you'll get on site soon. This area is very hostile. Anything can happen down there. Your search area should be displayed on your map if needed. Still no update. Hope you'll bring her home quickly. Let's keep pushing. People are counting on us today.
They still haven't changed that dialogue either. Let's keeping on pushing. Like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. I don't have any words anymore. I really don't. It's just stuff like that you would think have already been fixed months ago.
The last known position.
Which is why I still think doing these major, giant updates just is not what we need to be doing with this sim. But I'm still confused as to why we still haven't seen another beta build in 2 weeks almost now. I'm not sure why everything... Because that's why I was assuming that we were getting close to everything happening, and then they had just been kind of radio silence, even the development updates every Thursday. Last week's didn't even mention Sim Update 1, or Sim Update 2. And it's just... I don't know. I just feel like if there was better communication as to what's going on, what's being worked on, what's the major hiccups that are being worked on, you know, stuff like that, I feel like people would be less upset about what's going on. But the fact that everybody's just kind of in the dark, even the beta participants, it's just odd to me. It really is. Let me turn off autopilot on this thing. I'll just find this person really quick. It should have already happened. The career maintenance.
Care 12. Search and rescue. No need to search that far. The guys from Hatch are already patrolling there.
Yeah, that happened this morning, early morning. It was 2 in the morning, my time, 1 in the morning, LA time, and then 10 in the morning in Paris today. So it already happened. They never said anything that it went down or that it's done or like that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's just they're leaving people in the dark too much, and I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes from players, is just not knowing what's happening. You know, it's just kind of like, oh, by the way, we're gonna just go radio silent on what's going on with Sim Update 2 for about a couple weeks, and just pretend like it never happened. You know, it's just, yeah, I don't know. And honestly, I would have expected more of those server-side fixes to have happened. I think we've maybe had 3 of those in the course of the sim being out. We still haven't gotten the pressurization fix for the PC-12. We were supposed to be getting some new stuff for the A330. We were supposed to be getting some new stuff for the Beluga. And none of that's still here. Sim Update 2 is supposed to release end of April. I think they need to just quit giving out time frames, because so far they have not hit one of them. Because, I mean, they haven't been doing release dates, but they've been doing release time frames, and they've always missed those. I just wouldn't even bother trying to say a time frame anymore. I would just say, hey, by the way, this is coming out tomorrow, we're done, it's ready to go. That's what I would be doing, because it's just, doing the time frame stuff just doesn't seem to be working out. Yeah, a lot of the turboprops are like that, no matter what you're doing, feathering, low RPM. I mean, it just taxis like your full power on the... It's very annoying taxiing turboprops. No doubt about it. It's like, no matter what you do, it doesn't seem to affect what's happening with the aircraft. By the way, am I still in the... I'm not even paying attention. Oh, didn't mean to hit the trigger on the controller. My bad. They still need to make it to where the EFB automatically updates where you're at. Oh my, I'm not even I'm just flying around here. Oops. My bad, everybody. This is... Oh my. Go ahead and open that up. I can't hit that from this angle, okay. Don't know why that's such a huge hitbox on the... You hear this? Alright. Can't hit continue on the screen. Oh! Hey, there we go. It's figured it out. But yeah, the hitboxes on these 2 buttons down there, the back and menu, are way too large for whatever reason. I think that might have been why the continue button was... Oh, it was shy... I don't know. Anyways, let me get back to where we're trying to get to so I can... Well, I guess it doesn't really matter where we land this thing. Anyways, we don't have to find the person to see if it errors out. Let's just do a quick landing here and see if anything happens. I don't even know why I'm bothering trying to find the person here. Is this a railroad or a road? It is a road, okay. Apparently I don't care about the performance. Apparently the landing gears break on landing. AJ, oh my goodness, been watching since Prison Architect? That's all. I'm glad you've been around for that long. Well, hello to you as well. Thanks for sticking around through channel name changes and content changes and all of that. That's awesome to hear. Happy to have had your support all these years, AJ. Whew. Uh-oh. Takeoff. This thing sucks at controlling on the ground. I mean, I know our tail wasn't... I need to land this thing from outside really quick. Hang on. But even with the hard landing, no issues. I mean, if you're landing in the grass, which... Or, you know, doing these missions outside of Sim Update 2 are nearly impossible. They're not enjoyable either, just for the fact that it's always wanting you to land in crappy places just to be... Oh, there's a hill. Hey, we look like that Cessna that landed in the golf course in California this week. Why do I have no control? Do I not have the... I mean, the thing... Okay. It felt like I had no tail wheel. It was weird. But anyways, I'm assuming what's happening is you're running into a bush or something like that, because with how it's set up in Sim Update 1, you need to land within like 0.6 nautical miles of the person or whatever. But in Sim Update 2, you can land anywhere and then walk to them. But yeah, I mean, I'm just assuming the plane hit a rock or something and damaged the landing gear that way. Because I wasn't seeing... Even with the crap landing I had there, it's all good. 2C Box. Hi, Mr. Cow and all. Nice to see another live stream. Absolutely. Welcome back to another one. Can you try the Vision Jet? What's wrong with the Vision Jet? By the way, did I go through everything else that everybody was wanting to see? We did that. Oh, people were saying that you couldn't change the time or weather, which doesn't make any sense. Because I saw a random forum post about that. Okay. Change the time. I'm assuming they probably had it set to live and wasn't changing that. So there's that gone. But yeah, I mean, we can dive into the Vision Jet here. And while we do that, I'm gonna head to the restroom. I don't know why I didn't go to the Cirrus part of it, but there we go. There it is. Get this boring red and white livery out of my face. I'm sick of seeing this thing. There we go. Much better. I mean, I'm just so over seeing that in career mode. I hate that livery after all this time. We're just gonna go ahead and spawn on the runway. And away we go! There's been nothing changed regarding multiplayer models. The only way you're going to see the correct one is if they're flying the same plane, and even then, sometimes that didn't work, so... Unfortunately, still gonna just have F-18s looking like a A330 for whatever reason. But alright, I'll be right back.
Willow Springs Tower. CTWN32 Sierra Romeo Echo 4614 at runway 17 left, ready for departure. Straight out departure.
CWN32 Sierra Romeo Echo 4614. Altimeter 299er straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 17 left.
Cleared for takeoff runway 17 left. CTWN32 Sierra Romeo Echo 4614.
I'm back. Alright. So is there anything, like, particularly wrong with the Vision Jet or something? Or did people just want to see the Vision Jet? Oh, see, this one... I'm starting to feel about the Xbox version like I did before Sim Update 2, where it just... I mean, I don't know. I'm so baffled as to how the experience of the sim can change without a single beta build in 2 weeks. I mean, what are these stutters now? I'm so lost. And now the terrain doesn't get as far either. Because, again, if you watch that video that I said about Xbox Series X, you saw how the details were about the mountain. Now it looks like it's back to what it was before. Did the career maintenance do something? I mean, no, that wouldn't affect free flight. I'm just so lost. I really am. It doesn't make any sense to me how something like that can change without any other builds. The draw distance is really low, again. The satellite imagery isn't loading in now. It's finally there, but it still looks very... I don't think I've ever been part of, like, just how development goes more roller coaster-like than what I've been dealing with here. Like, it's just... One week it's like, yay, everything's great, and then the next week it's like, oh, everything's sad, and then the next week it's like, oh, everything's great, and then the next week it's like, oh, everything's broken. Like, I don't know why. Why is this continuing to happen? I don't get it. Especially when there's been nothing regarding a beta build. Like those long, like, I can't believe it. Just a week ago, I was only playing on the Xbox Series X because I was like, wow, it's finally at a point where it's running great. And it looks great. And now it's just, it's back to what it was before I was enjoying it. On the Xbox side of things, I don't get that. Yeah, but there hasn't been an update in 2 weeks. It's the same build as I was playing before. Doesn't make any sense.
CDWN32 Sierra Romeo Echo 4614. Did you
I mean, I don't think the cache has anything to do with it, because I've never cleared it on the PC either. I wasn't having to do that before either. I don't know. I don't know why there's such a regression just randomly all the time. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Because here, hang on. I'll show you what it's like on the PC. I need to do some stuff really quick though. Hang on. I need to tear everything up just to get this going, but I want to show what it looks like on the PC and what my experience is there. Because it sucks that I'm getting the same feeling of that wasn't very fun like I was getting before Sim Update 2. I'm so confused by that. I really am. Oh, man. Alright, hang on. Are we good? We are. Fantastic. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Let me... It's gonna complain. I don't think I closed out of it on the Xbox. Nope, I did not. Hang on. There we go. Because that's just, I'm kind of disappointed, honestly. Because I thought we were finally getting to a point where it's like, wow, the Xbox version is actually fully enjoyable 100% of the time. Like, it's just like, great. Really love seeing that. And then it just randomly goes back to what it was pre-Sim Update 2. I don't understand it. Especially when there hasn't been a build in 2 weeks. So it's not like a new build came out and then caused the regression. Weird. Because now we're going to go into the Vision Jet on the PC and then just go from that. And then probably wrap up the stream. Because I'm sad now. I'm disappointed we're not getting any new beta builds. The communication's been gone. The Xbox version has somehow regressed even though nothing's changed. And it's just... I just don't know what to say anymore. And that's why I don't try it. Because I don't want to be the channel that just keeps playing Flight Sim over and over and over and over and over again because I know you guys love the series. I'm glad you guys do. But it's just, if there's nothing new to talk about or something to showcase, it's just, I don't want to just do the same thing over and over again, because that just gets boring, you know? And it's just, I was hoping at this point we could dive into the PC-12, finally be like, hey, the pressurization's fixed. We can finally go above 18,000 feet without dying from hypoxia. But we don't have that. I thought we could dive into the heavy cargo missions and fly the updated A330. We don't have that. It's just, there's so much stuff that's, like, I don't know. I don't know. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable, you know? And now I'm starting to feel like before Sim Update 1 finally started rolling, where it's just like, okay, there's not much to talk about anymore. Everything's kind of like, okay, well, what do we do now? It's kind of like, okay, we've done all the missions, career mode's tapped out, we're not getting any new beta builds, everything's pretty much quiet on that front, and I don't know. It's ridiculous at this point. It's ridiculous and it's frustrating. I don't know why I can never find this goddamn Vision Jet. The thing's always hiding from me in this list. Alright. Well, I mean, the streaming side of it doesn't, you know, affect me, but I get it. It's stupid that they went full streaming. It doesn't make any sense. Not everybody has great internet. I don't know why they thought that was the play to do, instead of it being, okay, we're going to have a streaming element, so if you don't want to have a large presence on your hard drive, you don't have to have it. But if you want to have it all on your hard drive, you can do that too. I don't know why that wasn't an option from the start. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense. It will never not make sense, and it's just ridiculous. Oh, hang on. I need to switch to the PC side of things for my flight stick. Oh, my Xbox controller's not on. Hang on. There we go. And there we go. This is how it should be. This is how it was, too. Like, it was running smooth on the Xbox Series X. The mountains were looking great. And now they look like they did. Like, I don't understand it. And now these random, like, frame freezes that are happening, too. And it's just... There's nothing else to say other than it's just frustrating. It really is. The other thing that's happened again is the sim keeps reverting your settings again, like it did when the sim first came out. I don't know why that's back. That's one thing I've noticed on the PC side of things. Every time I come into it, I have to turn on the ultra clouds and the ray tracing. Every time. I just do not understand. Like, the more this is going on, the more I don't understand why they didn't do a beta program like they did for 2020. I really just have so many questions about that. Because this would have turned out completely different if that was the case. Because all of this would have been... I don't know what the QA team was doing. I really don't. It's just... How do you miss so many things that are going wrong here? And then same back to the streaming of everything. Did they not test it out on hardware that didn't have gigabit speed, or did they just go for the top end stuff and said, yeah, streaming's the way to go. There's nothing else we need to do with this other than everybody's going to have gigabit speeds or 10 gigabit speeds, and it's going to load everything in perfectly. I mean, they didn't think about people that have 100 or even less than that. It just... It goes back to what I've been talking about, too, with third-party developers with their planes. They focus on everybody that has the high-end equipment. You know, throttle quadrants and the whole goddamn Airbus Boeing cockpit in their room. That's who they focus on, so it seems like they had the same philosophy for hardware and internet speeds. They're like, we don't need to have just stream everything. Everybody has gigabit speeds now. Everybody's going to have a fun time. And that's where their mistake was. I don't know why nobody in the development studio is like, hey, what about people that don't have good internet? What kind of experience are they going to get? Who cares? Everybody has gigabit speed. You know, it's just odd to me. It really is.
Cleared ILS runway 17 left approach. Flexjet 484.
I mean, you try to keep the excitement going and just having a great time with the sim, and then you just reach these points where it's like, okay, communication's gone again. It's just... odd. Because what should have happened is, one, a beta program that was on PC, and then an Xbox version that comes out later, instead of releasing everything at once. I think that's another issue. Now the team is having to deal with issues that are only on Xbox, only on PC. It's just created a complete and utter chaotic mess, is what happened. I mean, we're getting regressions even without any beta builds coming out. Like, I'll never get over that part. It's just, I don't know. I really don't know. So we'll see if anything pops up this week regarding updates or anything like that, but there's only so much time that they're going to be getting. I mean, this came out in November. We're halfway almost through May. And we still have major issues with the core mechanics of a lot of things. And of course the other disappointment is, you know, you get to these points where it's like, okay, everything's going great. And then it falls back again. And then it goes a step forward and then 2 steps back. Another step forward and then this goes wrong. And then this and that. And then it's just, you don't even know what to think anymore. Because it's like, you want to keep being happy and enjoying the sim, which I have been, especially on the Xbox lately. And then today's experience was the opposite of it again. I mean, there's only so much time that you can keep being like, oh, it's okay, there's going to be updates coming out. And then the months go on, and then it's like, okay, don't worry, the updates are coming out. And then the months go on again, and then it's like, okay, something's going to happen at some point, right? No, now we're at a complete communication silence going on, where the last couple development updates, I don't even think mentioned Sim Update 2 or the beta. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know anymore, everybody. I just don't know. Because as you know, we've done plenty of content over Flight Sim 2024. I've been critical of the sim, you know. I'm saying things are wrong with it and whatnot and want to see improvements to it. But I've also tried to stay super positive about it as well. It's just like, you can't keep that going forever. It's just going to get to the point where it's like, what is going on? Cue the Jim from The Office meme or gif. It's like, what is going on? That's where I'm at right now. Like, I want to just have a point where we're at a steady area where it's like, every time you go into the sim, you're going to have a fantastic time with it. There's not going to be these random things going wrong or regressions going on. So far, I haven't had that on the PC version. I've always been having a great time with this one. But now that the Xbox version's regressed and isn't as enjoyable as it was a few weeks ago, I just don't understand it. I mean, now there's frame drops where it freezes for a second or so, and then, like, I don't understand why the Xbox version's doing that. But all I do know is it's got to get to a point where Asobo's going to really get on top of the communication. Make it to where there's like weekly events in the beta program saying, hey, let's all focus on specific parts of, like, do career mode in this aircraft for these mission types. See what you like, what you don't like. Get a whole list going on. Let everybody know that's not in the beta program. Like, what's going on with Sim Update 2? What can you expect? What are we working on? What's being an issue of fixing? And what's taking longer? Like, why are we focused more on what's going on with Sim Update 2 and not releasing new beta builds? This is why, because we're focusing on this. Then people would be less upset about it. It's like, okay, we know what you're working on. It's great to see that you're working on this major issue that we've all been complaining about for a while. You know, stuff like that would really help out. But the fact that it's like they don't even say anything about Sim Update 2's beta for 2 weeks, even in the development update, it's just like, why? Why are we just ignoring like nothing's happening? It just doesn't make any sense. I came in too hot here. But anyways, that's where I'm at feelings-wise with the sim. I mean, I want to love this. I've been enjoying it on both the Xbox and PC until today, where I played the Xbox version again, and it felt like it was before Sim Update 2's beta. These horrible frame freezes, and just, I don't know, it's just, I don't understand why it goes back to that. I mean, I'm hoping the long wait's worth it too, but it just sucks that we're just in radio silence. Like, we don't know what's going on. I mean, we paid money for the sim. It'd be nice to know what you guys are working on, like what's happening. Why are we never reaching or hitting the release windows? We always say something's coming out, and then we reach that point where it's like, oh great, there's no more beta builds, things must be going great, there's no regressions happening or anything like that, and then it's just, that release window passes by, and then it's just radio silence again. Like, I don't I need to quit saying I don't understand it, because I just don't. I don't know what to say anymore. All I know is it's disappointing. We need to get to better communication, because what we get now is just, it's not enjoyable at all. It makes people upset, and it's just, there's no reason why we shouldn't know what's going on, where we're at beta build wise. Is it going to release at the end of May? Is it going to release tomorrow? Or is it going to release in June now? You know, it's just, it is what it is. So anyways, I'm going to park it here. I'm not going to taxi all the way. So there we go. That was a very frustrating stream, because I was not expecting us to have the performance issues on the Xbox that we thought we were away from, but apparently they're back again, so it's like, okay. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Be sure to tell me what you guys think if you're watching this as a VOD. Thanks to everybody for stopping by. Hopefully what I've been saying makes sense. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same as well, where it's just kind of like, where is the sim going and what's happening with it? So it's just, I just want to get to a point where it's like, oh, that was fun. I want that fun experience every time I boot this sim up. And the fact that we're, what, 6 months into the release of this, and it's still this whole thing where it's like, it's great, it's bad, it's great, oh, that was okay, it's great, and then it's like, okay, now we're back to not being great. It's just, why is this happening? But alright. Again, thank you, Binky, for the 5 gifted memberships, and I will talk to you guys next time. See ya.